Claude released this tool use framework just early of June. I would say it's brilliant. It's really time saving here. So we have so many API tools and how to orchestrate them within the language model. And I specifically added in the date here. It is because this area is just really moving very fast. Something maybe got outdated just 1 week or 1 month later. So I would add in a date here for the thing I present. Claude released this tool use framework. I would say it's brilliant. It's really time saving here. Scalability, because in the past I tried other things, it's really not working so well compared with this one. So the major benefit I list here, scalability. I mean, scalability is time saving. You do not need to rebuild them one by one. It can be more easier unified as a master agent. They claim that I haven't integrated with hundreds of tools. For my case, I only start from over 19 accuracy for the agent pick up the tool. The thing here is that if you just integrate with one tool, definitely he know when to pick it up or not. But when you scale up with 10 tools, can he still make the right decisions? And there are different parts to solve the issue. And the benefit here, you can view it as just integrating with tool, or each tool is an API call. And each API call on the backend, it can be a function, can be a sub agent, or web API. So it's really open up the door for the flexibility when the language model be able to using the tool here. For instance, I see some other people like using it to optimizing meeting time based on each attendee's availability, Q&A with database and web API. Yeah, so a lot of fancy app we can building on top of this framework. For the core currently is unable to support parallel tool calls for now. Small example demo, I will show the group what I mean by this core here. And it's more like a perfect word example. So in here, we're assuming he has access to full function. So let's utilizing this diagram to walk through the logic. First, user submit the query, what is tangent 7? Oh, by the way, in the tool set within load for function, we on purposely take the tangent out just to tell it's error handling function here. So after user message, enter here, go to Claude. I utilizing the Bedrock service, which they provide the Converse API on top as the wrapper of the Claude's tool use function. For this simple example, there isn't any fancy rag we need to concat here. So you just send it to Claude, and then it return back the message. Okay, first based on your tool config file, they know you need to invoke the tool function tangent. But when it's sent to the tool set, it throw the error exception, return the user message error. So with this message here, go to Claude again, then it was thinking, oh, it has error, what should I try next? Then it will give the planning, you need a call sine divided by cosine. Since it's single turn conversation, so he can only invoke tool one by one and then call the sine, get the result. Continue the loop, call cosine, gather the result, and then continue the loop, call divided by. Finally, there isn't the next plan, so we ended the loop, print out the final output. Let's take a look of the code. It's really a simple function, and we can see in here, I specified the maximum run loop of 6, and in the tool here, you can see it's the tool JSON, how they need to work in this way. Cosine, calculating cosine of x. This is one tool. Second one, sine. Third one, tangent. And the last one, divide the number. Since to calculating tangent 7, it can be sine 7 divided by cosine 7. There are 2 ways to do that. So this is, I told the language model, there are 4 tools in your tool set. And it need to specifically put the required parameter in. This need to all be well defined, and together with description to guide the language model, pick up the right tool. The reasoning capability still rely on the language model here. Let's see how this works. So in here, my tool function just a tool JSON file. And so the tool function, if the return JSON like equal to cosine, then this is the cosine function being picked up. You just import the master cosine, and divide the number. You can see in here, we on purposely excluded the tangent in our function call. So we will try to testing if he can recognizing then how to navigating through this situation. We can easily add them in, but in here it's just more like experiment. So we can see his step-by-step thinking logic, whether he can figure out how to call these three functions calculating the tangent. Okay, so let's give it a run here. So yeah. I'm in the right folder, Python demo. You will see here is first, we're using tangent to calculate directly, and then here just print out what tool he tried one by one. So this is also one core part. He cannot do the parallel tool call. And let's see the detailed thinking step here. What is tangent 7? Then the model response. To calculate this, when you're using this tool, and here is the return the JSON, the tool ID because we specify that, and the tool name input is X. But we know in the tool function, it didn't exist here. So let's see the low user response here. True error because I add in the error throwing module here and then return the stat error. Okay, now let's see what models reply. Oops, it seems this tool not available. Let's calculating the tangent manually instead. So here's his thinking step. So I as tangent x equals sine divide cosine. So first I will calculate sine and cosine. Clearly, he can do two core here, calculate sine and cosine at the same time, and then divide them. However, because current nature, they can only do single turn, pick up the tool. So he called the sine with input at 7, and then gets the result, and then called cosine, and then get the result, and then divided them together. So called the divided number function, and how he returned back the tangent 7 is approximately. So it is a perfect world example that for the Claude tool use framework. Next is the ReAct through LangChain. This is the one I tried last year when working on the CSV agent. For the example here, when I tried that, I using LangChain integrating with OpenAI. However, when we have multiple CSV file, it didn't work. It was testing with OpenAI's API at that time. It's like, what's the chips API? It's the loaded table. Claude to sort and action, step, sort, action, and then get the answer. Based on my trying last year, reasoning step by step through the content. However, sometimes it cannot extract the right parameter of feed into the function. As we know, each function has a required input, and if we didn't specify in the prompt, or even we specify in the prompt, sometimes he cannot find that. So it's pretty tricky that very sensitive to the prompt itself. Since it's kind of like natural language, not like a predefined JSON file. And additionally, it only can invoke limited number of tools. There's no way you can utilizing more than 10 tools at the same time. For my child, even using 2 tools, it's already begin struggling. Another interesting one is the Stanford AI village. So it was an interesting simulation with 25 agents living in a town that you run it for 2 days and costing thousands of dollars here to simulate in this example. This is also simulated on a perfect small world situation. But the philosophy behind here, like each virtual agent and how they perceive the environmental information outside, it will be the future thing we can consider. So there's definitely many things they can continue to improve since still a framework released last year. What their agent do in here perceive is not just one customer input. There are also the other 24 friends, some friends, some stranger, the environment input, and everything into your memory. And in the retrieve here, we do not send everything to our retrieve model. We only, based on another user input, either the plan or anything, retrieve the recent one and the relevant one. So we only recall needed memory and then make an action like, oh, I should hang out to this party. Or here, send the plan, oh, maybe before I go to the party, I need to purchase some flower or buy a new clothes. Or This is like more word simulation example that since we can also borrow when we try to refine our memory stream module by fine-tuning the more relevant, recent, and important function, especially when it's got scaled up. Then where we are now, paradigms of agent, I think we are still in here, fixed workflow, or some people need guide workflow. There are fully autonomous agents, which will assuming there's no hard-coded rule, I mean the hard-coded prompt, or semi-autonomous, which between fully autonomous and fixed workflow. But given we still have many recursive loops and well-defined prompt step function here, I think we are still current in this stage. Yeah, which more like a state machine. I really advocate for the Anthropic's tool use function. It really works great for my cases that link with dozens of tools. And let me know how does it work for you. Cheers. See you next time.